What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Living Blessed, the podcast. I'm your host, Joevan J. Palmer, and as always, we have special people telling transformation stories, and I have my bro, Chef Beasley in the crib.
You already know what's
How
going on.
How you feeling, brother?
Feeling good, bro. Feeling
Atlanta's
good.
number one chef.
I'm honored. I'm honored to have that.
I'm honored to have you, man.
Appreciate it. Got my beard back, so I'm definitely in the building
Beard
now.
gang.
Yeah, Joe said I couldn't come back until I have my beard.
No, sir. Beard's on.
But yeah, man, I'm definitely happy to be here. Putting a lot of work this past year. You know, get my name out there.
It's out there.
People been rocking with me, so I'm very appreciative and working on building it up. Keep going, being consistent, and just having fun with food.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Let's jump into it, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, a little background, who you are, who is Chef Beasley, how'd you become Chef Beasley, all the good stuff.
Who is Chef Beasley? I started my culinary journey at 15. Mm-hmm. Started as a dishwasher. My mom was a GM at a hotel. And of course I wanted to work. You know, school wasn't really my thing. So, in order for me to get a job, I had to start in the dish pit. Started working in the dish pit, got tired of washing dishes. So I started asking the chefs, like, can y'all show me something? You know, so one of the OG chefs, he took me on his wing. He was like, all right, I started showing you stuff. I think my first dish I made was a quesadilla and everything. And it just took off from there. I just wanted to learn more and more. Then I started doing banquets and stuff like that. That was the start of it. And then, you know, as the years went on, I just started working in the airport. I want to say I opened maybe 7 different restaurants in the airport. Spent a lot of time there and just experimenting my way through the culinary world, through different restaurants, meeting with different chefs, and just connecting that way. Just started, you know, using what I learned from them to create my own style of cooking.
Got you.
Yeah.
Now you're Atlanta native, right?
Yes, born and raised. Grady baby.
Grady baby.
Grady
What was it like growing up in Atlanta? Because I'm not from Atlanta, so I don't really know what it's like growing up in Atlanta. I know, of course, what it's like growing up for me, but what is it like you being a Atlanta native? You've seen, you know, what year are you born?
87.
87. Okay, 87. So same year, same age. So you've seen Atlanta for 34 years. Mm-hmm. What was it like?
Well, the people who know Atlanta now, it is totally different from the Atlanta I grew up in.
Okay.
I could guess my family, I got a little crazy background. You know, everybody got a crazy side of the family.
For sure.
So, yeah, part of that family was on that side of the fence. They did that side and everything. Other side was a more holier side. So I was in both of the best worlds. So Atlanta, to me, it was more family vibe. You know, growing up, we had Underground Atlanta. So like that was a spot kids, everybody hanging out at. Back when Lennox was fun to hang out at. Definitely used to hang out in the food courts. That's how I knew I loved food. We would hang out in the food courts with all the friends, especially at Underground Atlanta, by 5 Points. They had the arcades, all that stuff down there. So Atlanta back then, to me, it was more of a family-oriented thing. You know what I mean? You get so many more events. The food culture was a lot different because you had those more Southern cooks who didn't go to culinary school, but they can cook, you know, like they cooked at the churches and all that stuff. Right. So you have a lot more of those people in the restaurants. So you was able to learn that Southern culture from them. It has changed a little bit, but during that time in Atlanta, it was just like, for me, the food scene was more Southern and more home for me from what I grew up on. Cause like my family is all from the South. It's good now. I'm getting wrong. It's still good now. But back then, it was just, to me, more of the where I experienced more of the beginning of the Southern roots, and I got a chance to experience that because you had more of those people in these kitchens than you do now. So that's why I said my OG when I was in high school, dishwasher, he was one of those chefs. So I had a chance to really learn from a OG chef. That's them true Southern roots. I had a chance to learn from that. So I kind of feel like that's what's missing now in the culinary scene. We need some more of those OGs. And stuff like
kind
that.
of holding it down and really just kind of help navigate people, the newer chefs, in their way of cooking. Gotcha. So let's get into your childhood. What was it like as a child growing up in Atlanta, outside of like the cooking experience and stuff like that? What was that like for you as, you know, growing up in Atlanta? You know, because everyone has their own view of life and how things kind of like curated for them. How has life been for you growing up as a youngin into adulthood?
For me, I would say my childhood was challenging.
Okay.
You know, like I said, my family, I get the best of both worlds. I had the not so good side, and then I had the holy side. So I was in between a lot of that. So I saw a lot from the drug scene, all of that stuff. I saw that. I saw a lot of secret stuff from the whole so-called church scene. So that seeing both of those worlds, it kind of confused me a little bit because, you know, as growing up, my mother, she was a single mother. You know, didn't have too many male influences. And the ones I did have, they weren't the positive male influences, you know what I mean? So it was kind of a gift and a curse, you know what I mean? So
let's start with the gift.
The gift was, it was all still family, you know what I mean? No matter how much bad what was going on, all that was going on over there, somehow we all came together as family. And no matter what it was, food was involved. So that was the gift. You know what I mean? You still got to see everybody come together, and we're all coming together through food. You know what I mean? And that's what the most memorable moments of my childhood, just to see, you know how to cook out. People don't do cookouts no more. We did cookouts all the time.
I just thought about that.
All the time. You know what I mean? Like I said, my mom was a hotel. She worked in a hotel, so I'm a hotel kid. So all the coworkers, everybody at somebody's house on their weekend having cookout, that was a lot. That happened a lot during my childhood. So those were some very memorable moments. Like I said, that family and that food. You know what I mean? We don't do cookouts no more. Ain't nobody doing cookouts no more.
I did not realize that cookouts aren't really a thing like that. I guess like the potlucks kind of took over in a sense.
Yeah, and people don't trust people cooking no more, so it's like you can't even have it because they not trusting people food. But back then, oh man, that was it right there. Like everybody kids, that's how everybody kids grew up together. We got so many god sisters and play cousins who was always together through food. You know what I mean? So that type of stuff stopped. So that was always the gift, and then the curse of it all. You would see people going to jail. I've seen people getting killed. I've had to do things for family members to drop stuff off so they can get stuff in return. Then on this side of the family secrets, they don't want, because of the church, they don't want to tell certain stuff. You think this person your play cousin, but really your real cousin. Because it's in the church, they don't want to talk about it and stuff like that. So that was a curse for me. You know what I mean? I never understood that part. Like, okay, we come together like this during this time, why are we so divided on the outskirts like this? So I never understood that. The part confused me a lot because, like I said, even with having those male influences, they're not positive, but
they were still
you
there.
Get home, you like seeking for that fatherly attention, and you like, do I go over here with my uncles, even though they doing this, I've seen them do this, but you want that type of love from a male figure. So you're confused. Gotcha. So you don't know which route to go. Then you go on this side, you see the you being glorified in the church and at home. But when you get to a certain area, you treating your family a certain way. You treating your wife, your kids a certain way. So it's just like, I was confused, like who to look up to.
Gotcha. So are you painting a picture that dad just wasn't in the picture, or like what was dad there or not there?
It was
vaguely there.
This side keeping secrets.
Gotcha.
Like he'll be there, but then this side he was connected in the drug game on that side. So jail, in and out of jail. But on this side, my family trying to keep it secret, like, you know, your dad's in jail again. No, just imagine being in the third grade, you see your dad on news going to jail. Yo, you talking about embarrassing?
Yeah.
Like, it was embarrassing to see his mugshot on the screen. They're telling what he did, and I'm just like, but my mom, they tried to hide it from us and everything. That's why everything was just so confusing. You get that good side, but then you looking at the news like, yo, this is my dad. Like, Mom, what's up?
So what's going through you in that stage where you're seeing your dad on the news, on channel whatever, 3-5 News, what's going through your mind as a kid trying to grasp understanding of the good, the bad, and the ugly of just a family unit in a sense?
It's like, I was thinking to myself, like, why y'all just won't tell me what's going on? You know, I feel like growing up, when I look back now, I was the kid that just wanted to know, just tell me. You know what I mean? I can take it. you know, when I saw on this side, my dad, them drugs and all that, beating up people. I mean, I didn't fully understand it, but I saw it and they didn't try to hide it. But, you know, as a kid, you just like, all right, I guess that's what they do.
Yeah, it's part of life.
But when you on this side and you're trying to like not talk to me about it, you hide it, it made me look at you differently. At least I'm getting the truth over here. It might not be the good truth, but I can accept like this is what's going on. But when you on this side, you're not trying to tell me what's going on. You're not being truthful. I'm trusting you to like really let me know what's going on, and you're like shielding it and keeping it away. It just make the situation more confusing because I'm getting the truth over here, but over here you're not telling me the truth, and you're trying to make it seem like the truth.
Right.
It caused a lot of confusion because at that time, you know, as a young boy, you're seeking that fatherly influence. You know, I had an older brother, but he's just 3 years older than me. And so we didn't really gel like that.
Right.
But for me, I was just always into, you know, I loved the older, I wanted that male influence. You know what I mean? I was that type of kid. And so trying to get it, it didn't work out, and it just caused a lot of confusion. A whole lot of confusion.
Now you say confusion, like what kind of confusion did it cause for you?
Like just, I'm seeing my dad, so like why is he in the picture more? You know what I mean?
So it's like that story where, you know, kind of the old school story where they talk about dad grew up literally down the street and he just wasn't there the entire time.
Kind of one of those situations.
Okay.
One of those situations because it was just like, okay, you know who my dad is, grandma, my dad. So why isn't he involved with me more? You know what I mean? So that just really confused me too. So I'm just like, that don't make any sense. Like, I know you live, so like, why don't you come pick me up sometimes? Do this and that. But it just caused a lot of confusion. Then you got your mom on this side, you know, telling you other things. So you just like, okay, something ain't right here. And all I want to do is I just want family. At the end of the day, I just want to be, you don't have to be with my dad. I just want to say, hey, I have a relationship with my father. Even though you're on this side not doing what I think is right, at least I have a relationship with you. And I know I can build that as I get older, but not building that relationship, and then you got mom telling you other things. It just, like I say, it causes so much confusion.
So looking back on that as an adult now, where do you see things you wish could have been just different, or what do you feel like, you know, if this would have happened, my life could have been a little bit different now?
I think if both parents would have put the child first. I think a lot of times during that time, like you said, your dad lived down the streets. A lot of family went through that. A lot of family got those secrets, you know what I mean? And it's like, if you would have just put the child first, those feelings as parents wouldn't have gotten in the way, and then you could have like maybe co-parented, and the situation could have been better for the child. You know what I mean? Like I said, I saw the best of both worlds. I mean, like I said, it wasn't pretty, but if I would have had both parents trying to navigate me through that, it would have made a lot more sense versus them being confused about like, okay, you tell me this, I'm seeing this. But if both parents could have came to like, all right, let's just do what's best for the child, then it probably could have turned out a little better. Because the old Atlanta, even though it was fun, it was different then now. You know what I mean? Everybody looked out for each other, but a lot of people in that area did the same thing.
Now, what area of Atlanta did you grow up in?
Pretty much South Side, Old National Gabby Road. Cleveland Avenue.
So is it the same Old National Gabby Road, Cleveland Ave that I see today that you've seen growing up?
No, it's in my opinion, it's worse now.
Really?
Because it might sound crazy. Even all that was going on, it was still some sense of structure.
Gotcha.
Like, they wasn't letting old women get attacked or robbed and stuff like that. You wasn't doing certain things you see now. Like, right now, it's just crazy. I'm like, what is wrong with these people?
I worked in the area for about 5 years. And it's just a place I just feel like they always tell me you don't want to be there after a certain time. I've been there 4th of July. I'm like, is these gunshots or these fireworks? I've been there, you know, just because I worked in a group home in the area. And it was hard to try to like keep the kids from the neighborhood stuff and still try to keep them on the straight and narrow. So how did you, growing up in that area, like not choose drugs or not choose gangs or not choose violence and still make it out to where you are today?
I think for me, I was a observer. You know what I mean? Even though I had that side of the family, I kind of observed where I wanted to go. So I would gravitate towards certain people. You know what I mean? I'll give you a good example. We had to move with my mom's friend, and we live on the west side of Atlanta, like Adamsville, that area. And so we moved in with her. She had 3 kids. Her son was the oldest. He was a junior in high school at the time we moved in. I think I was in the 4th grade. Moved in. She had 2 daughters. It was a hood and everything, 3-bedroom apartment. So you got 2 families, my mom, me and my brother, her kids, her and her 3 kids. So we in this 3-bedroom house. So I gravitated towards him because he was into music.
Gotcha.
You remember the artist, The Dream?
Yep.
So they was in the singing group during that time.
Yeah.
So
I know that.
Even though it was crazy. So even though we was in the hood, they would be in an apartment practicing. So I gravitated towards that. Now, mind you, this is funny too.
You sing?
Yeah. I can sing a little bit. I got a chorus scholarship. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
But so it was so funny. Even though in the group, they still had 2 dudes who was in the drug game. So it was like, even though it was on that side, they were still doing something positive. They was in a singing group. So all of them, I would watch them practice. They'll be in the living room. I would literally try to follow them everywhere. It's so funny. One of the group members, he was the first person to actually show me how to use a gun. I mean, we was in the kitchen and he was just like taking his gun apart. And I was just asking him about it. And he showed me, put it together, a little gun. Yeah. I was like, so my first time ever putting a gun together. He in a singing group, singing bass. But he got a gun and dealing drugs. It was so funny. But yeah, so it was just like I gravitated towards them because they was like, that's when I fell in love with music. So I'm in the 4th grade. At that time, it was a high school called Harper Archer High School. My cousin, he went there. So I would leave elementary school, go to the high school, and just be sitting in the band room. Like after school be out, band practice start, they let me be a part of the band. I played the cymbals. So that was my first experience. So I gravitated towards that. So it was just like, even though we was in the hood, even though he had people in that group still doing their thing, I gravitated toward the positive of it all. And it was music, and it was in a singing group. So
that's dope.
It was crazy. And then I got to be a part of the high school band in the 4th grade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was a different experience for me to be around that environment because even though I'm in the 4th grade, I'm around all these high schoolers. I'm peeping how everybody dress and everything. So I go back to 4th grade, dressed nice like the high school kids. They go, why are you dressed up? I'm like, the high school kids
high school kids do.
So I'm around it all the time.
So you kind of, in a sense, grew up a little faster than the average kid your age.
Surely did. Did.
So is that another gift and curse?
I would say yes. The gift was just to be around the maturity and to be around like older kids. A lot of them, they wasn't doing anything crazy, especially in the band. They just really loved the band. And just to see those group of kids who really love music in the band, I gravitated towards that. I'm like, oh, okay.
So you found like your thing.
Yeah. Even though I'm playing the cymbals, you know what I mean? I don't understand everything, but this whole percussion section, I'm in the 4th grade. Like, I got to be special.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I'm the only kid out here. First time, you know how you go to the football game, halftime show. I'm like nervous. My first time going to a huge football field. It was just a lot. So that was the gift of it. And I can say the curse came from when I would go to school, I couldn't relate to the other kids because I'm talking about band stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait to I didn't want to do work. None of that stuff. I was just eager to hear them get out of school
and just head to high school.
Just head to the high school and just get around the band kids. You know what I mean? And that, I think that sense of kind of separated me a little bit because all my attention went to just music. And like in elementary school, they didn't have anything music wise. So it was just like, okay. So I don't think I had friends because I was always around the older kids.
Right.
So you can't try to talk to a girl in 9th grade, you in the 4th grade. Right. Like, what you talking about? So I didn't really have the friends like that. Okay. Because I was always around older people.
Gotcha. It's like you can't hang with the older kids because you're too young. Then you're not really making a relationship with the younger kids because your mindset is just so far gone towards the dang.
Yep. And it was like the more and more I was around the band and around my cousin, they was doing a singing group. Right. I remember one time they was practicing to do the national anthem for the Hawks game. it was a lot. You know what I mean? So just to be exposed, and all that came in like 1 year. You know what I mean? Like we moved, even like I said, it was a hood. It was they had roaches and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was like, even though it was a hood, it was still a sense of family. Because I was a big kid. They started getting me to play football, all that stuff. You know, they had a little recreation park, stuff like that. So I wanted to play football, but my heart wasn't in it.
Yeah.
It was like I was eager to get to that band room. You know what I mean? Eager to watch my cousin them practice. Like I didn't know the dream was gonna be the dream how he is now.
Right.
And everything, like he dope. So just to see that at the beginning, I'm just like, okay, I was a part of something real special, because I literally would just sit there in the living room, they'd be practicing, watching them, everybody singing. I'm trying to sing with them, trying to come up with the songs myself. And so I think that moment in time like really shaped my love for music and my sense of family, because I was always in like family environments.
Got you.
You know
Regardless of what they looked like.
Regardless of what it was, like I said, they had a few members, they were doing their thing, but I didn't care because I knew my side of the family did that, and we still came together in cookouts. You feel me? So it was a sense of just being around, just family, being around family, man.
Gotcha. So what would you say was the best part about being around family?
Just seeing people socialize. It was just like the talking. Like, you know what I mean? At that time, I was very big on just everybody just talking to each other, laughing, eating. You know what I mean? During that time, you got to see everybody cooking who you didn't know who can cook. You're like, okay, let me see what you're doing. You know what I mean? So during that time, I feel like you learned a lot. It was a lot of teachable moments. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times when you had them cookouts, you know, everybody enjoying themselves. Ain't nobody going nowhere. Everybody
Music
talking,
going, card games happening,
going, everything. So in the midst of all that, you're really just peeping everything, and you just learning from everybody, because everybody, I feel like during those cookouts, everybody was in that element. They was comfortable. They ain't wasn't worried about no bills. They wouldn't worry about them kids, because the kids around playing with everybody else. So it was just like a comfortable environment. And that's what I loved about that, because it was like everybody was just themselves. You had to fake it. When nobody coming all dolled up. I mean, of course, they don't look a little bit, but not like today. You know, everybody can get dolled up when they go anywhere today.
Everywhere.
Everywhere, bro. So it was like during that time, it was just like, it was a sense of family and food. And what that did for me, it brought comfort. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I saw both worlds. But when it came to the family and the food environment, it was just like, yo, this is it right here. Ain't nobody tripping. You know what I mean? Everybody cooling it. They talking crap on the card game. That's fun. That's why I love spades now.
I don't know how to play. I mean? Still don't know how to play.
What? Man, that's why I fell in love with that. So it was just that sense of family brought a lot of comfort for me at a young age and everything, especially what I was going through. Yeah.
That's dope. So you said you were going through, what do you feel like you were going through at that moment?
Before we moved with my cousin, just trying to find that consistent male role model. You know what I mean? Like I said, I had my uncles and my dad, but jail, doing everything, so it was never consistent. But once we moved with them, I'm waking up every day. You know, got my older cousin, he there. Not one band practice that I missed. So even though my cousin, he was a drum major, so it was like he knew everybody. Yeah. So it was more fellas around. So that added more value to that male influence that I was looking for with the singing group. You know what I mean? They were all different, but they all still had that sense of brotherhood and stuff like that. So, like I said, that year, that was like the top of my childhood, because I got everything I think a child would need. I got it. Even though we was in a crazy environment, right, we still got it. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm very grateful for that, because, like I said, I fell in love with music, fell in love with just family overall, and I just fell in love with just community and just being together. And I feel like that's what like really was embedded in me, and it's still to this day embedded in me. Yeah. So definitely, it was just what I was going through, just trying to find that.
Got you. So you talked about the highs of childhood. What about the lows of childhood? Because we all have like these moments that we can remember all the good times that kind of help us reflect on where we've come from and how far we've come. But like, there's these lows in life that we all try to hide and push out of our lives, but we can't, because they're just there and they're just kind of stuck in our, our subconscious mind. Like, what are some lows that you can remember from your childhood?
My lows definitely came from when we moved from my cousin. We was there for about maybe a year and a half. My mom, she finally got a good job. We was able to move since we moved off Cleveland Avenue and everything. And but she was in management role, so her hours were different. Yeah. And so moving to that area, didn't know anybody. Like I said, now I'm by myself again. I just left my cousin, left the band, all of that stuff.
So you moved from a whole school district?
Yeah, whole school district.
Oh, so the band is gone now?
Yeah, band's gone. We're on the south side now.
Okay,
on Cleveland Avenue. We were staying on the west side by Adamsville.
Okay.
So we moved all the way to the south side. So when we moved, the area we was in, it was older kids, but it was more my brother age. You know what I mean? So they weren't really trying to mess with the younger brothers and stuff like that. So I was alone for a minute and everything my 5th grade year, just trying to figure it out. Then when I get to middle school, they offer band in middle school. So I'm like, bet. Well, I know how to play the cymbals. So she's like, yeah, that's not really an instrument we need right now. I was just like, yo, you tripping. I know how to spin and all this. I can't play the cymbals.
And it's nothing they could like implement in two?
Nah, man, it was crazy. I was just like, I want to play the cymbals. She was like, nah, we're going to put you on a tuba. I was like, the tuba?
Tuba, shout it.
Like, yo, damn, I'm not even thinking about that. So yeah, like I said, my 5th grade year, we moved to the area. I'm kind of alone because, like I said, all the other kids, they cool with my brother. By this time, computers and stuff, my brother computer geek.
Okay.
So they definitely gravitated toward my brother because during this time, you got Napster and all that stuff downloaded. So
all the illegal stuff.
They was hustling. You know what I mean? So I was alone for a good little minute. Then my 6th grade year came. That's when like everything just definitely changed. Because during that time, my mom, she accepted another job.
Okay.
And so she would be away from home like literally all week and come home on the weekend. She had to work in Columbus, Georgia.
So she had to travel from Atlanta to Columbus, Georgia, is like what, hour and a half?
Hour and a half.
Okay.
So she would be there the whole week. So now you got a 6th grader. My brother, he was in 9th grade at home. You know what I mean? No parent division, none of that stuff.
Dang.
And so during that time, that's when molestation started for me. And that's just like that's when everything just changed.
Okay.
Like I said, that neighborhood we was in, it was more so kid rant. Like I said, my brother 3 years older than me, so it was a lot of high school rant in the neighborhood, stuff like that. Really not a lot of coming together type thing, everybody. Only reason they came to our house because they knew my mama went there. Right. So it's like now
freedom
is we got the cool house. You know what I mean? And like where our apartment was, like we was in the middle, so everybody can just flock to our house, come from every direction. And they getting cool with my brother, stuff like that. Like I said, at this time I'm in like middle school, and then that's when molestation started, and it was like, oh crap, I'm alone. Who do I tell?
Right.
And I didn't tell nobody. You know what I mean? Like I said, my older brother, we didn't have that type of relationship because the person that was doing it, they were best friends.
Dang.
So it's like,
you can't. How do you like? Say like, yo, like your friend is touching on me,
and they lived upstairs from us. That made it even worse. Yeah, they made it even worse.
So you're at the house alone. The best friend is coming by, doing God knows whatever, and of course you're alone because you don't have an outlet to say, "Mommy, this is what's happening to me." Mommy's gone all week. You can't go to your brother because your relationship isn't like the closest thing. So you just feel like you're back into this aloneness again. How is it as a child at, you said middle school, about what?
My was about
13 now?
6th grade, like 11, 12.
11, 12. Yeah. So at 11, 12 years old, what's going through your mind? What's going through your body and your emotions and stuff like that?
I was honestly trying to get back to my cousin because I felt safe. You know what I mean? You found this environment where you're happy as a kid. You're doing stuff normal kids wouldn't do, being in the band and all this stuff. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to be here. Like, I was happy where we were and everything, and I can't express that to nobody because my mom's working.
Right.
She's doing her best to take care of me and my brother. My brother, I guess he's really trying to fit in with everybody else because even though when we lived with my cousin, my brother, he wasn't, I think he had maybe like 2 or 3 friends around his age, but he didn't flock to the music like I did.
Right,
so he was always with them
and
everything, doing like the gaming system and all that crap. That was their thing. But during that time, it was just like, I don't know who to talk to about this because, as a kid, you lie a lot as a kid. So my family saw me as just a liar because they didn't think I told the truth and stuff like that. But
why didn't they think that?
Because you know how you growing up, you lie. I'm a boy. You lie about stuff.
And
everything. So when I wanted to talk about it, in my mind, I'm like, they already called me a liar, so they're not gonna believe me. What I'm
so you're like kind of like that whole with the little boy cried wolf in a sense.
It's just like, and then during that time with mom being gone, my brother, they're older, we in the hood. Now you got these fast little girls, so everybody's pushing these fast girls. Let's hop on these chicks. You know what I mean? And so they didn't put me in that environment because I was still the younger kid.
Got you.
And everything, but I saw everybody doing it. You know what I mean? I saw the girls come to our house sometimes. They'll go to these people's house sometimes. So I'm still alone dealing with being molested by my brother's best friend. And it's like I have no outlet to talk to anybody about this. I don't even know why this is happening right now. You know what I mean? I'm just like, okay, we don't supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
And I vividly remember one time, it's crazy, he spent the night, and it happened my brother's in the bed next to us. And I remember, I told my brother this maybe 2 years ago. He asked me, like, when did it happen? And I said, one time happened, you was asleep in the bed next to us.
So in the same bedroom, there's you, your brother, the best friend.
We have separate beds, and he molested me in another bed while my brother's in the other bed asleep. So I just carried that with me. I didn't tell nobody. Because during that time, it was like, oh, bro, you might be gay. I'm trying to figure out, like, no, I'm not. Like, I don't get why this is happening to me.
Yeah.
And so what I started to do, I was looking at porn. Like, you know how it was so funny. My brother, he had a little checking account. And you can get on the website, but you have to put the routing number and the checking number and stuff like that. I was trying to figure it out, like, which number is which, just so I get a little free trials. Yeah. You know, that time I forgot you supposed to cancel the trial. It was crazy, bro. Then they had, Napster was out. So I was downloading
all types
so much stuff off of Napster, bro. It was crazy. And it was just during that time, when we lived out there, it's called Metropolitan now, but it was called Stewart Avenue. Okay. And that was prostitute central. Wow. Like, it was days where my mom would be gone. Let me see. And I would be by myself. My brother, he had all his friends over. Of course, I was getting bullied a little bit because I was a fat kid. Yeah. And I would just leave the house and just walk. And like a few times, I'd be on Stewart Avenue talking to pimps. You know what I mean? They were like, hey, bro, just be a lookout. She'll serve you up. And you good. I did that a few times. Like, I just be walking up and down Stewart Avenue. Like, I knew pimps. Because I was by myself.
You said Stewart Avenue is now Metropolitan.
It's Metropolitan. So all Metropolitan used to be called Stewart Avenue. It used to have a strip club on there. On Cleveland, where the Walmart at now. There used to be a strip club across the street from Walmart. I was in the strip club. That blue building.
Okay. That building been abandoned for a minute since I've been in Atlanta.
I've been in that strip club. I started going there when I was like 13. Yep. And then on Stewart Avenue, that whole strip, just prostitution. That whole strip. Used to have a run and shoot over there. Run and shoot. You know, oh man.
Yeah, I ain't from here.
Old Atlanta, boy. So it's kind of like, you know how they just had that basketball tournament with him finding it?
Yeah.
It's kind of that same setting, but picture like 15 basketball courts in one building. Like, that's when they used to shoot like the N1, all that stuff back in the day. They used to shoot all that at Run and Shoot.
Really?
Crazy. Crazy. So it's like this big place. The building's still there. They just changed it to like a bowling alley. But it literally used to be nothing but basketball courts. Nothing but basketball courts. That was during the N1 time. Everybody used to be hot sauce and all them stuff. They used to come up to Run and Shoot.
Oh, so you grew up in the prime time.
Grew up in a good time in Atlanta. And during that time, like I said, I would just leave the house. Of course, my brother didn't care where I was going. Yeah. I'd leave the house, walking up and down Cleveland, walk down Stewart, talking to the pimps, and that prostitute, they half naked, squeeze a little something here, hug there. They were like, little young, just watch out for like 30 minutes. I watch out. That 30 minutes come, she'll come take care of me. I just keep walking, be talking to the next pimp. Like, I was talking to these people, like, cause I really didn't know where to go. Yeah. Cause like, I couldn't tell them about what was going on. And it's like, mom not here, my brother in the house entertaining all his friends by staying there. They're gonna be doing all this picking on me and all that crap. Got tired of that.
You trying to find your escape?
Yeah, I was trying to find my escape. You know what I mean? So I would just walk, leave the house and just walk. Like I said, then they'll celebrate. They were like, "Oh, you about to head out?" They was, we all young. Yeah. So yeah, it was crazy. That was crazy time, man.
So what's going through your mind in your first experience after the molestation? and you got the pimps and the prostitutes, and that first experience, like what's going through your mind then? Like, is there any type of confusion? Like, are you saying, oh, this is what it's supposed to be like because over here this is happening? Like, what's going through your mind then?
I think for me, it was like I saw the neighborhood kids priding themselves on sex and how many girls they was getting. So in my mind, I'm like, all right, they don't even know that I'm in a strip club. Yeah. I ain't tell nobody I was going to a strip club, stuff like that.
So you really just solo dolo?
I was solo dolo. Like, they didn't know where I was going. My brother didn't know where I was going. Like, they didn't know I knew pimps. They didn't know none of that. Because when I left the house, it would just be me. You know what I mean? I would just walk. So during that time, it was like, all right, I'm being exposed. Because mind you, I've always been around older people.
Right.
I just left my cousin.
And that's what you gravitate towards.
So I can, like, instantly connect with, like, older people because I've always been around them. So for me, it was just like, all right, bro, you don't know what's going on, but you getting some sense of comfort from being around these pimps and these older women. Like, they checking you out. So it's just like kind of that comfort came from when I was with my cousin.
Got you.
You know what I mean? Because when I go home, I don't get this. I'm being molested when I get home.
Dang.
But when I'm out here, I'm like, okay.
This is some sort of like comfort and love that you've been yearning for.
Exactly.
Got you.
Exactly. And I hate to say it's kind of crazy that it happened that way.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like some people, they find their love, like some women, they find their love after they been molested, they go to strip clubs and, you know, they start telling anybody and stuff like that. But for me, it was like I gravitated towards sex and women. It was just like, okay, this is not normal. This ain't right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't talk to nobody about it. Don't nobody know how I'm feeling. I don't even know how to express my feelings. All I know is I don't like it, but it keeps happening, and I have nobody to talk to about it. And the only way I can escape it if I just go
and take your walks.
Take my walks. You know what I mean? I know I don't like this. You know what I mean? But I don't know why it keeps happening. You know, so and it's like you want to tell people, but at that younger age, I've already got in my mind, like, family already called me a liar anyway.
So nobody's gonna believe me.
Nobody's gonna believe me. So I just started, when I was around the pimps, I just started like listening to them how they was, I know it might sound crazy, but I was literally listening to them how they was talking to women. But I can't say this, I never picked up disrespectful stuff from the pimps and stuff like that. They never did.
So the pimps, I don't think I ever interacted with a pimp before. So are the pimps the same as what we see on TV?
No.
Okay.
Like these dudes I was like around, they never was like calling them out their name. They was always, this is why I think I'm so comfortable with women now. They were just always making them feel comfortable and loved. You know what I mean? They never like talked down on them.
So you think like the pimps preyed on women who gone through a situation like yourself?
I don't know if they like preyed on those type of women, but like when I was around them, I never saw the what's the word, persona of how pimps are, calling women out their names, slapping them. I never saw that. I just saw how they treated women, even though the women was doing their thing.
Yeah.
I just saw how they was treating them, and I picked up on that. I was just like, okay, he ain't bashing them, he ain't talking down. You know what I mean? He's loving on them, all that stuff. He talking slick. You know what I mean? And she feeding into it. And I was like, okay. So I started to pick up on that. And then I'm going to school. I'm talking to girls now. You know what I mean? And next thing, it's crazy. Next thing I know, it's just like girls started to get more comfortable around me.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Because like you knew how to, you talk to them from an older male's perspective versus like the typical whatever age you are at this time. So they're used to like the kids playing around, joking around, but you're talking to them from a older male perspective, which is now massaging their ego. And
mind you, I was a fat kid. You know, everybody wasn't showing the fat kid no love like that.
Of course,
if I'm coming to you and I'm talking to you and you like, okay, you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, that's dope. But I never was ever disrespectful to women. I could to this day, I've never been like disrespectful to women. I just knew how to talk to them based off of being around those guys and seeing how the women responded to them.
Gotcha.
I ain't say I want to be a pimp.
Yeah.
It was just, I started to fall in love with women, but not the right way.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
I'm falling in love with their bodies and stuff like that. I'm like, man, you 13, sleeping with a 20-year-old, 25, you know what I mean?
Life is different now.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, your perspective is like, whoa, wait a minute.
So how long did your molestation go on?
It went on for about 3 years.
3 years straight.
So my middle school year was all
that.
molested.
Wow. And so you got the molestation going on. You have interaction with the pimps and the women. I don't want to call them the hoes.
Yeah.
So the pimps and the women and whomever they're interacting with, you're now sexually active. What's this life like now? Or what's life like for young Beasley then?
Oh, it was like an addiction. Because it's like, at that age, you're doing something. Even though, like, we stayed in the hood, you had the group home. The group home girls were fast. So it was like, people around, they doing their thing.
Yeah.
But for me to being the fat kid and, not having many friends, now I'm experiencing sex with older women. I don't even think my brother them was doing with like older women and stuff like that. But I'm experiencing something that the kids in middle school aren't experiencing. So now when I'm going to school, I'm talking to the kids who are out here doing this stuff, like out here having sex at a young age. So I'm like, because I have something to talk about to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even though I'm in a band in middle school, I can't talk to them about the women.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because now sex is on my mind. Sex and how to make a woman feel good is on my mind.
24/7.
24/7. That's why I like it.
So you're distracted.
Very. And the only thing that really kept me sane was the music. Only thing was the music. Like during that middle school, my 8th grade year, that's when I became really good on tuba. I had high schools come and look at me, trying to get me to come to their school, stuff like that. But I loved the music, but it was like the women and the sex, I loved that too. It was just like both of them was battling each other.
So what was if you had it your way, what would be your choice?
Definitely the music.
Okay.
Definitely the music. What I know now, it would definitely be the music. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I was able to see my cousin in their group.
Yeah.
And able to see how they all started from the beginning. Like how you say the dream is now, he's Grammy Award winning.
Yeah.
So I'm able to say I saw that from the beginning. I saw that from the beginning.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that what made me fall in love with music. So yeah, definitely music, man. Because like I said, it was so dope. I had different high schools come look at a tuba player. You know what I mean? I wanted to go to the fine art school. By my 8th grade year, I got friends in my neighborhood now.
Okay.
Like they're in the band, so they live in the neighborhood. But they was more successful with music. They was going to like performing art schools, like all the way across town. We stayed on the south side, and the performing art school was like by Lenox.
Got you.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying to go with them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They dope with the music. I'm trying to follow them, stuff like that. But at the same time, they wasn't having sex and doing girls, stuff like that.
Got
so
you.
that stuff would throw me off a little bit.
Got you.
They might be practicing. I'm over here talking to the girls. You know what I mean? Trying to get my thing going.
Yeah.
They practicing. I'm just like, nah, man, let's get these girls real quick.
Right.
I mean? And everything. But yeah, that definitely will be the music.
Gotcha.
What I know now.
So what drove your passion to cooking to go from, because you're this sought after kid in high school now, who pretty much music is your passion, but you're stuck, kind of like entangled between sex, women, music. How did you go from the love of music to the love of cooking?
So it happened, when I tell you my love for music was deep. My 10th grade year, my band director, he was another one of those father figures who I gravitated towards. And during that time, the sex was heavy. I'm into the porn heavy. Still walking the streets sometimes, because by this time I know people.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know where I got to go to do this and that. And I'm kind of somewhat popular in high school now, because my 9th grade year, I was in a band, and I did this halftime dance routine with a senior. He was another dude. He played the tuba as well.
Word.
And he was like, they called up the Milky Way twins. He was like, he was a big dude. So I was like the little big dude.
Right,
so we had to do a
right.
dance routine for homecoming against the drum majors in front of like everybody. So since that, once we did that halftime show, like everybody just freaking in the school knew me as the Milky Way twins. So that came a little popular. I was getting more attention from the older girls, seniors, stuff like that. My brother was a senior in high school at the time too. And so during that time, so I got a little more popular. My band director came, And he was different. He was like that father figure that I hadn't seen since my cousin. I was like, okay, bet. And then he brought more male influences around. They went to Clarkland University, so they would all come around, and it was just like, okay, I love this. It was like that sense of family again from when I was with my cousin. All music, like it was dope. It was a good time. So it was a gift and a curse too. It was so dope because he instilled so much music in us. I didn't want to leave the band room.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, I tell you, we would sleep in the band room. Like, we would hide in the instrument room, so we would have to go to class because we really want to be in the band room all the time.
For sure.
And the curse came is when I failed all my classes but band. Like, so I had to do 10th grade again. Because I literally didn't want to leave the band room. I loved being around him.
Yep.
All the other male influence, they was in college at Clark, so they would come. You know, they schedule different, so they can come up there anytime.
Whenever they want to,
Being around them, learning more music, it was just like, I'm good again. I feel comfortable. Like, I know we in school, we still got to go to class. I'm just like, I don't want to go to class, bro. And so, end up failing in 10th grade. And then he didn't like the administration at the school, so he ended up leaving. Dang. And it was like, once he left, it was just like,
back to that loneliness again.
Yep, back to it again. So I was just like, yo. And I can say he was such a great influence. A lot of the band, even though he went to a new school, a lot of the kids in the band, we would take the bus and the train all the way. We went to South Atlanta, and he went to Tucker High School over here. So we would take the bus and the train just to come over here to watch him practice his new band. We the same age as these kids, but we ain't going to band practice because we miss him.
Over here.
It was like that, man.
Wow.
And so when that happened, it was just like, okay, this is crazy.
So you kind of fell out of love with music.
And then we ended up moving to Forest Park. My mom finally got a house. By this time, I had to do 10th grade again. My brother out of high school. So now it's just me again.
Yeah.
In the house. We moved to a whole new area. Don't know nobody. Got this house. My brother, he doing this thing. Go to this new school. Their band sucks.
Right.
It was one of those little core style bands and everything. So they band sucks. So I'm just like, what do I do now? I'm at this new school. I don't know nobody. So I go ahead and play football. My first year there, football team sucked. So I was like, yo, something got to give.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, next thing I know, I do what I do best. I'm talking to the females again. Like really getting to know them. Like I said, my mom worked a lot. We got this brand new house. My brother not there. 5-bedroom house. Just talking to women. Now I'm back on the women and sex extremely heavy because I didn't have my music.
Yeah.
So I said the band wasn't good. I had already got kept back. So school was completely just like, I don't even want to be here.
Yeah.
I hated the school and everything, but I had nothing else to do. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, well, I know how to talk to women. You know what I mean?
That's my thing.
Maybe get out of here. That's when I started. I was driving. You know what I mean? My mom, she let me get the car. So once you start talking to women and you driving too, whole nother ball game. So during that time at that school, I was really just, I got in the band because of one of my friends, childhood friends. He went to the school, but I hated it. But I was able to talk to the women in the band. They would tell their friends, you know. So I'm just talking to them. Then during that time in Clayton County, it was a weird time in Clayton County. I don't know what it was. It had a lot of gang activity. So you had these young girls, they didn't care. I'd be talking to them. So I'm in 11th grade at this time, talking to 10th and 9th graders. You know what I mean? They didn't care about school. As long as I had a car. They were like, can I go? I remember one time, it was so crazy. This one girl I knew, I was leaving. She's like, where you going? I said, oh, I'm done for the day. I'm finna go to my car. She's like, can I come with you? I was just like, okay. You know what I mean? That's the type of stuff I was on. I was like, all right, fine. And she came with me, went to my house. We was there like till my mom got home. And that's how I literally was at that new school. Because like I said, I didn't have no friends like that. Even though I was in the band, I wasn't feeling it on their level because I just came from a black school.
Right.
And we did things a little different.
Oh, so you had predominantly like what, white schools?
Yeah, it was predominantly, at that time it was predominantly white school.
Got you,
so
okay.
My black band was different from
so it's more so like, dude.
Yeah, so I wasn't really feeling, we do dance routines and all that stuff. Like I said, they went to band director, he came from Clark, so we was exposed to a lot of stuff. We was in the movie Drumline. He helped us get in that movie. Like, he was a good dope band director.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it was dope. And we was around Clark a lot. I was saying that I was in the Upward Bound program. He got us in that. So you put me on a college campus. I already know how to talk to women.
Right. It's game over.
You know what I'm saying? It's game over.
You know? Yeah.
Got it. You know, it was dope. So, but yeah, once he left, like a lot of that just, my mind just went back to like, okay, what do I do next? Because now the person who I saw that father figure, and he had other guys around who I looked up to as well. All that stuff is gone now. I can't keep catching the bus out here.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's too far. And by this time, we moved to Forest Park. Ain't no bus line. I had my car, but I ain't really know the highways and stuff like that. Yeah. We had MapQuest. Had to print out your directions. Yo, print them directions out. Yeah, man. So during that time in high school, it just went towards the girls. That's when I started getting on the internet more. You had the Craigslist, started meeting girls online. Had the MySpace, meeting girls. So it just really became my 10th grade, second time doing 10th grade until I graduated high school was really about just women and sex. You know what I mean? I was still dealing with being molested. Didn't know if I should talk to people about that. So I just put that in the back of my mind. But literally every day it was just like, all right, who I'm sleeping with today? You know what I mean? Who I'm finna meet online today? Yeah. Stuff like that. It was just so easy just to talk to girls. I'm just like, dang, that was easy.
Right.
Yeah, it was like, okay.
All right, do it again.
Yeah. So, during that era, it was just like a lot of internet porn women. And so, it was rough. Definitely rough.
How did you feel like coming out of that? Like, do you feel like you still to this day struggle with some of those things still? Or it's like you found a happy medium or you able to balance it now?
I think to this day, I think my wife, we were just discussing this maybe a couple of weeks ago. I told her that sometimes I don't feel anything. Like, I think they call it anxiety. It's anxiety. It's a type of anxiety. I looked it up, but I don't feel nothing. Like, it's not that I'm mad at anybody. If I don't love you, I just literally don't feel. I don't feel emotion. Yeah, because it's like when I think about from the time I stayed with my cousin, childhood was good. From molestation, then from my band director leaving to the sex and the internet stuff. Like, I ain't gonna lie, the internet stuff, I could have been dead. Because, boy,
I know.
I did some crazy stuff.
Same here.
Some crazy stuff.
Facts.
And it's just thinking about all of that stuff, it's just like on top of that death, like I said, it's just like so much emotions that you think you would just pour out. It's like, I don't feel that. You know what I mean? It's like, I told my wife, I said, I don't like that. I don't like not feeling that I'm supposed to feel something.
Right.
I said, that's not normal.
Yeah, for sure.
And everything. And I told her, I'm just like, we got to figure out what's going on with me because I don't want my children to see that. You know, when they come up to me, when they hugging daddy, I should feel that.
Right. You want to kind of reciprocate that.
I want to feel that love and energy. And if I said, if I don't feel that, then that's a problem for me and everything. And then it has affected me because when you look at it, you look at women a certain way. Right. I told my wife, I was just like, it took a minute for me to actually fall in love because I was just so used to just sleeping with women. Yeah. You know what I mean? When I met my wife, like, I met her. She gonna kill me for saying this. I met her online. Like, we was online. It's supposed to just been a quick little thing, let go. But end up turning into a baby. And so when you go into that, having a family, when you don't even know what like going on with you, right, you just still stuck in just all sex mode. You know what I mean? Now you trying to be a family. So it caused a lot of struggles early in our relationship, dealing with that, not wanting to tell her that I had been molested. You know, wondering like what she's gonna think of me. I always wonder, like, I tell people this, like, what they gonna think of me? Yeah, because you know, during our generation, like, oh, bro, you gay. Yeah, right. I'm like, no, I'm not. It's just I don't know how to tell nobody what happened. Yeah. And for me, I was very passive aggressive. You know, cared a lot about what people think. I didn't want to get that out there. I'm just like, yo, let me just do my thing. Maybe it'll go away. Right. You know what I mean? Sure. But as I got older, I'm like, yo, this ain't going away. Yeah, like, this ain't right. You know what I mean? It caused me to cheat on my wife. Well, she was my girlfriend at the time. It caused me to do that because I just needed so much sex. And I'm just like, yo, this ain't cool. Yeah. Like, sometimes I would force myself to want to have sex, even though I didn't want it. Yeah. But that habit, like, yo, bro, what we doing? Like, come on. Like, why are we not doing this? It's like I'm battling myself. Like, I don't want to do this. But then that habit, like, yo, let's go. Got you. That caused a lot of problems and everything. So still, it's better today, but I'm still identifying more and more things that I can work on that help me long run. Because, like I said, I don't want it to affect my kids. I don't want it to affect my wife. I want to be able to have other people to say, "Hey, bro, I've been through this. Like, I didn't know you was doing this," and I'd be able to come to you and talk to you about it. Right. That made me feel so much better because it's like I genuinely just want to talk to
Just
people
talk to somebody.
about what's going on. You know what I mean? My wife, she it's so crazy. I told my brother and my mom maybe 3 years ago. My brother, he was upset. I take that back. My mom, I had told her my daughter was just born, and me and my mom wasn't in a good place. So I told her what happened, and I vividly remember her on the phone gossiping to my aunts about it, and she didn't believe me. And so that broke me. So that right there, it caused more tension between me and my mom a little bit. And then to where when I told my brother, I told my mom again, and she listened. You know what I mean? My brother listened. You know, I told my brother, I said, because they're still best friends to this day. I told my brother, I said, don't be mad at him. Because like I said, he was a kid.
Right.
So but I said, I still just want you to know what's going on and everything. Because my wife, she don't like it. Because she don't like it. She's like, I don't see how you can just be so forgiving, because I just told her, I said, I was a kid. You know, he was a kid. So I can't be mad at him.
Right.
Because he probably didn't know why he was doing it.
Exactly.
And I told my brother the same thing. Like I said, they're best friends to this day. So I was like, I don't want you to ruin your friendship over something happened. I know you're mad.
Right.
But still, just think about it.
Yeah.
And everything. But overall, I just look at the situation as, you know, it happened. And I still am affected, not by the porn and stuff like that, but as far as the way I feel towards certain things, like I said, my first encounter with talking to women came from pimps.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's embedded in you for a
long
good
time.
little minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I've always been quick to talk to females. Like I said, women always been comfortable around me because I always knew what to say. Like I tell my wife all the time, I know how to get you. Like every time. Like I just choose not to. That talk is still in me. But even though that's in you, you're still looking at women that way. And I told my wife, I don't want to just look at you as just what's between your legs and your body. You know what I mean? I'm learning to look past all of that and see how much more value you bring as a woman, as a person. And growing up, I wasn't able to learn that.
Gotcha.
So that now I'm learning more and more on that. That's why I praise my wife so much, because she's been teaching me. She's been helping me.
Yeah, for sure.
And everything. And so that's the thing I'm working on, just understanding more value in a woman other than just sex and what they can do with their bodies and stuff like that. Because that was heavily embedded in me. Very. You know what I mean? My college years, I went to college for a semester. I couldn't go to class because
that's all you mind.
All on my mind. You know what I mean? I went to a mixed school. I had never been with other races. So it was just like,
all the best
and we lived in the school I went to was by Albany State. And so it was in the country. And so during that time, I had a roommate. He was a white dude in a car. He let me take his car. I was messing with the girls on campus and people in town. So it was just like I couldn't stay focused. Stay focused. Came home from college, still the same thing. Mom kicked me out. It was crazy, man. Trying to battle that addiction. Just like sex, not working. Like I was paying for it, meeting girls. It was real bad. Like I said, I almost got kidnapped one time.
Really?
Yeah, man. One time, it's one chick I met. I lied and told her I had the money, and I didn't. And so I left. And so somehow she persuaded me to come back. But something didn't feel right. So I go to her door. I'm knocking. She not answering. So something tell me to go to the end of the hall and just wait. So I go to the end of the hall. I see two big dudes. They walking. They don't see me. So I'm just standing there. They go to her door. She come out the door and point at me. I take off. I'm like, yo. It was a stairwell. I'm running down these stairs so fast, trying to help me get to this lobby. I hear the door open. I'm like, yo, these dudes are finna get me. I'm scared. I'm running down these stairs so fast, trying to help me get out that building. I'm like, yo, they is not finna freaking kidnap me. I ran to my car. I was like, yo, I can't believe I just put myself in that situation. I was like, wow. Cause soon as she pointed and they looked, dude was like, come here, bro. I said, man.
So in that moment, like, was that it for you?
And it wasn't it for me. I just kept going. I was just like, yo, I am not doing that, because I knew I didn't have no money. It was just like, I knew how to talk to women. So, and it worked. So I'm just like, and I ain't gonna lie, I did it a few times prior to, and I was like, shoot, that was my karma that night. Because I said, boy, they would have got me. Ain't no telling what would have happened. And I ain't stopped after that. I stopped doing the money thing, but I still kept messing with women paying for it and all that stuff. But that moment, I was so scared. Like, I literally just ran. I was just running down that staircase like, yo, these dudes are not finna catch me. I'm glad I had a good head start.
For sure.
Cause I had a head start, bro. It probably would have been a serious problem, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I said, it was rough. It was rough. I had put myself that whole time I'm driving home, like, yo, I can't believe I just put myself in that situation. It was crazy. It was crazy. And then later that night, went to look for somebody else. Cause that addiction.
Addiction is talking stronger than your mental. Yeah, for sure.
That addiction is real, bro. I tell a lot of people. I told my wife, like, I'm about to get off social media because I feel like it's becoming too addicting. Mm-hmm. I said I'm gonna hire somebody to run my social media because I don't want to be on it no more.
I feel you.
It's crazy. Mm-hmm. And I said these addictions are really real. Cause like that situation, me running for my life, you would think somebody would have stopped. But by the addiction being so strong and me doing it for so long, it didn't allow me to stop. It didn't allow me to stop. Even though them big dudes chased me, but that addiction did not allow you to stop because, like I said, I would still go home. You know what I mean? I'm not talking to nobody. So it's just me and my addiction in my mom's house. You know what I mean? We don't have that good relationship like that. As long as I pay the bills, like the money she needs for the bills and stuff like that.
That's it, you good.
And, you know, so during that time, it's myself, addiction, and the internet. You know, like Craigslist was crazy back then. They was really crazy looking at it now. They was advertising like crazy on them. I'm just like, yo, this is crazy, crazy. And so during that, that was hard. That addiction was extremely hard. I'm glad to have gotten over that. Like I said, I'm still healing from the wounds of that. Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? Just relearning things. That's why I say I want to get off like social media because those addictions can cloud your mind, your judgment.
Sure.
So we just completely eliminate certain things. You're able to see clarity. You know what I mean? You're able to work through those things without even this. I even told my wife, I said, you might just have to hold off for sex for maybe like 30 days. Cause I just want to just get my mind right.
Clean, you know what I mean?
Get my mind right. I said, I ain't doing nothing out here. It's just me as a man. I just want to clear everything, detox all of that, those wounds. You know what I mean? I told my wife, I said, I know you can't heal everything, but you at least can acknowledge
for sure
and just try. Just work through it. You know, it's like grieving. A lot of people never stop grieving, but they just manage to work through it. And I said, I can't tell you I'm never going to watch porn again. Right. But it's not going to be how intense it was back then. You know what I mean? And that's so I just told her, I just like, that's what we're going to work on. We're just going to cut some of this stuff out, cut some of this fat, and just start working from there. Because the addiction is real. Addiction is very real. And it scared the crap out of me. It scared the crap out of me, man. That day, chasing, running down them stairs. Now I'm thinking about it, just like it could have got worse because somebody could have been behind that door. You know, somebody could have been at the bottom of them stairs waiting for me to come down. So it's just like situation could have got real worse. Could have been dead, injured very badly because those weren't no little dudes. You know what I mean? So and at the same time, I didn't even think about what would happen to her. You know what I mean? So it's just like, this ain't life right here, bro. This ain't life.
I'm glad you still here to tell the story, man.
Yeah, man.
Definitely glad to have you on. I'm gonna do a quick commercial break, and I want you to leave us with something impactful. I mean, your story's already impactful.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know there's so much more to it. But this episode is sponsored by the Embolden Institute. It's an institution where myself and other individuals, we help people like you, to get over traumatic situations like my bro Beasley has talked about. I send you out daily text messages that allow for you to pretty much heal from the wounds that you've gone through, the past traumas and stuff like that. So what I want you to do is get on my text list, join me. It's 404-476-6780. That's 404-476-6780. I personally text you. It's no robots, it's no assistant, it's all me. You can ask me questions, you can get some free coaching, some free game. And I really wanted to help you heal. My thing is, my motto is us loving each other and us healing together. So I want you to heal together with me as we all go through this journey alone. So Beasley, man, just close this out real quick.
I would definitely say just look at all your trauma and ask yourself, are you willing to heal, not for anybody else, but for yourself? When you really become selfish with yourself and you want to heal from all those things, I think that brings more clarity and that brings a new sense of life, and you're more relieved. You know what I mean? I know it's gonna hurt. It hurt me. I didn't want to tell nobody what was going on. You know what I mean? But to be able to come in an environment and just talk and just get it all out, you'll start to see how much better you'll feel. So definitely embrace that trauma and bring it to the light for not everybody else, but for yourself, and just watch how your life gonna change after that. Because I feel good talking about it now. You know what I mean? Because I know it's gonna help other people.
For sure.
So definitely embrace it for yourself, not for somebody else.
I love it. It gets no better than that. We're out. Peace.